camera is upside down. What's up, guys? Just like I said, somebody's in town for a little bit, so I'll ask them. Tua, why don't you give them a... What's been up to, Tua?
Take it.
Take the camera.
There we go.
What's Tua been up to?
What's up, everyone? Back here in Costa Rica, or a little, just under 2 weeks. So right now we're headed out to the beach to catch some waves. But yeah, I've been living in the States. Haven't done any surfing there. There is a wave pool, like a little drive away, but haven't had the chance to check it out. Been super busy with school. What have I been up to? Well, I haven't been surfing, but I've still been getting that water time. So going in the freezing cold pool, doing some Wim Hof training, of course. And yeah, getting to experience that high school life. So now I know what it's actually like.
And what do you think?
What do I honestly think?
Yeah, the ups and downs, good and bad. What do you like and what you don't like?
Well, I like how many people I've had the chance to meet. Made quite a few friends there. That's been really fun. The part that I maybe don't like as much is how much of my time it takes up, so I don't have as much time to do my own things, like either at school most of the day, and then do get a fair amount of homework. So even on the weekends, there's still schoolwork to be done, and it does end up taking up quite a bit of my time. Definitely more compared to homeschool, but that's just one of the things that goes along with going to high school. All right, we're at the beach. Let's get some waves. Feels good to be back.
All right, guys, iSURFTRIBE back in the house with another voiceover video, and as always, this is a one take. So however this voiceover comes out is how it's going to end. So in today's video, I thought I would give you some tips on surfing a quad fin when you switch from a thruster to a quad fin. Some tips on how to surf it. Of course, start off my surf session saying hi to, of course, a couple girls out there and a couple locals out there, and just my routine. These are all people that actually, that was a fan right there that had recognized me. It was like, the tribe. And anyways, so basically the first thing I want to say is when you're switching to a quad fin, the first thing you're going to notice is the bottom turn can feel a little bit weird and the top turn can feel a little bit weird. And that's because you don't have that middle fin kind of anchoring you. So I would say the thing to remember about going to a quad fin is it's going to, if you're not used to it and the first time you try to do a bottom turn, you might feel like it's kind of slippery, like it wants to slide out. And also when you go to do a top turn, you might find that your tail kind of releases and slides out and kind of throws you off. And that's the first thing that I noticed the very first time I started surfing. And I'm referring to a high performance quad fin. So if you're going from, say, a thruster that has a 5-fin setup, and you can basically go to a thruster, or you can go, in this case, this is only a quad fin setup, but the board that I was surfing before this, which was a 6'2" fish, I could set it up either as a thruster or as a quad. So the tip that I want to give you guys is when you first get onto a quad fin, whether you're doing a top turn carve or you're doing a bottom turn, the secret, the key to learning how to surf a quad fin is to ease the rail into the wave using your rail, and then once you've set your rail into the turn, then you push into it. Whereas with a thruster, you can kind of just go right on the rail and then it pivots and holds. Whereas with a quad fin, if you don't have the rail and the board's a little bit flat, it'll slide out. And that's the thing that I noticed. So what I always tell people is, you know, for example, right here, if you're going to do your bottom turn, you kind of set the rail and then you push into the bottom turn. And when you're coming off the top, it's the same thing. You want to basically kind of get that rail and get your body moving into the turn and then crank into it. And that's probably the big difference that I noticed with that. The other thing you'll notice is quad fins are very fast down the line, and you don't need to necessarily pump as much. It's a little bit more about, excuse me, clear my throat there. It's more about how you kind of work the rail to rail when you're pumping the board. I mean, you still pump, but it's almost like you have to kind of slightly modify the pump in order to get speed. Right there, you can see that I kind of lost it when I did that turn there. All right, here is Kenneth. He's one of the rippers, local rippers, and I actually told him to drop in on me. I said, why don't you catch a couple waves and I'll go behind you. So if you see this video, it doesn't mean, oh, you can just drop in on people if they have videos. It's because I like to catch some videos from behind sometimes. So I'll tell people, I'll say, hey, go in front of me. Yeah, and he does all the surf contests and he usually does pretty well in his category. I think he's about 17. I can't remember if he's 17 years old, I think, but he's still really good at the age of 14, 15. Now here, Atua and I switch boards, and now Atua is riding the board, and he is 50 pounds lighter than me, so you can see that he is now surfing the quad fin. I would have let him come here and give his opinion, but he has already left. So I'm doing this voiceover after his trip here, and now he's back in Texas. But he said the same thing. He said, you know, it felt a little bit slippery on the bottom turn and the top turn, but it's like, once I got used to it. The thing about a quad fin is you have to surf it like 4 or 5 times, and then your brain will it'll kind of like translate it eventually, and then you won't even realize you're surfing a quad fin. Like, it won't even, like, now when I switch to a quad fin after about 1 session, it's like I don't even think about it. It just kind of naturally happens. I mean, I am kind of conscious about when I do a bottom turn. I always know that if I'm on a quad fin, I can't just go straight into cranking a bottom turn. At least that's what I've noticed. To his foot was way back there. And yeah, I tried to get one behind him. You can see that he's surfing this board, and I was surfing it at 50 pounds heavier, and see, he's moving that thing around. He almost pulled a 360 right there after he hit the lip. Oh, and then I jumped on his board, and I was like, it was pretty funny because I was way too heavy for that thing, but I was still able to kind of get a little turn in there. And Tua's back on his board right here. His classic, he loves to do 360s on his short board. So I hope that helps you guys out with some ideas on how to surf a quad fin. And like I said, I just kind of do this as is, and just want to say pura vida, aloha. Thank you guys for watching and listening to our videos, and got some videos planned, and we'll see you in the next video.